Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're feeling great. Hope you are feeling really good this um on this Thursday evening. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good old nice week. Anyway, it's time to get into the lounge, and oh Lord, this shambolic, more shambolic than anything I've seen in a while. This is the whole issue of Marvel's Blade. It's amazing how this Blade pretty much helped start the whole superhero thing. I mean, after Batman completely the Batman series pratfalled itself and everything else, it was a combination of Blade, Spider-Man, and X-Men that actually made superheroes really cool and everything else. And I think Blade don't really get that much shine because it was that Blade, and Wesley Snipes and all that good stuff. He was, the glue. He was that charisma and such. And I know it fell off at the Blade Trinity, and honestly, they really wanted to just replace him, which more often than not, that is pretty stupid because he was the main star. But yeah, Blade, they've been trying to get this thing together for so long. So long. And now, here we are. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at this huge, and I mean huge news here the last couple of days that Marvel's Blade lost another director. This is the second director. Yann Demange, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, is no longer directing Marvel Studios' Blade, as the rap exclusively learned. The partner with the French Algerian filmmaker has happened a while ago and was entirely admirable, and such. Demange, best known today for directing the acclaimed series Lovecraft Country and Top Boy, was the second director to part the project after replacing Bassem Tariq. Marvel veteran writer Eric Pearson, who most recently worked on the Fantastic Four, is currently working on the Blade script. Michael Starber, Nick Parrazzo, and Michael Green wrote previous drafts of the script. Mahershala Ali, who, let me see how old this man is, because I think he's a little bit on the old side. Let me just see how old is he is. Because this movie, remember, was announced in 2019, and now he is 50 years old. He is 50 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, for some a little bit of fun, I'm gonna see how old Wesley Snipes. Oh Lord. Guess I'm gonna share this right here. Wesley Snipes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm using Brave, of course. Wesley Snipes is 61 years old. Oh my goodness. They could have just started Blade again. They could have just done that originally and stuff. Good Lord. Shambolic. Shambolic, ladies and gentlemen. This is a shambolic production. At this point, just recast Blade as someone who's younger. Because, good Lord, I mean, are you going to have all these longer, how these movies are? He's going to be at best, he's going to be in his mid 60s by the time they get to the third or fourth one now. So, yeah. They're getting, by the way, supposedly, and this side with Nas, getting Blade right is much more important than getting the film out. The pressure produces as much content as possible has been lifted. The studio is now just looking to release 2 films a year. Huzzah! Which gives the teams at Marvel Studios some breathing room. Next 4 films: Deadpool, Wolverine, which will be a hit. I'm gonna see if I can get free tickets for that. Captain America, Brave New World. I mean, all the reshoots and everything else. That's gonna be a bomb. Thunderbolts, bomb. Fantastic Four. Well, as long as it's better than the 2015 one, okay. Blade has been like I mentioned before. This right here, it's was announced 2019 San Diego Comic-Con. And now they don't want to rush anything because the Blade movie was that, like I said, it was one of the most important films. And this movie was that. Blade was made, since it was an R-rated film. Forget superhero. This was a rated R movie in the late 90s. Made over $100 million. This, again, people would like to not talk about this stuff, but that's what happened. This is what the case was. And people really don't really understand that. And it took 2 sequels. Blade 2 was 155 million or 51 weeks of all that stuff. For Spider-Man came to direct books and just blew that up. And the less Blade, and let's talk about Blade trilogy, the better. And it was a loosely connected 1-season TV show that was on Spike TV, and there it is. So yeah, when you look at these subjects, you look at this, you wonder why it's the most simplest thing. This is a problem with Marvel right now. It's so simple. It is so simple. Mm. You know, it's it's just that this movie was supposed to be so easy. It's supposed to be. Oh, by the way, I look at TNA and everything else. I think they just killed someone again. I think they just and oh dear, they killed a person. Jesus, I don't know who they did, but they didn't get killed him. See, TNA just kills everybody. But yeah, back to the point. You know, it's kind of really the messed up part about Blade and everything else. I mean, the Hardy compound is supposed to be shambolic, shambolic, but yeah, this whole Marvel thing is supposed to be easy, simple. Blade takes down vampires, and it was simple. It was a simple film at the end of the day. If a vampire wanted to take over the world, did it again, he stopped them. Same thing in the sequel. Simple. You know what? It's supposed to be a simple thing. I mean, I would say, hey, Raid, that movie, why can't we just have Blade do something like Raid or whatever? Have him fight multiple monsters, demons, or whatever, and there you go, easy, done. Instead, I think the problem with this whole situation, the problem with this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, the main issue of this, and I believe that's one of the main problems here, is because that this story, this whole thing, is they're trying to connect everything. And it's sad. You know what the messed up part is? Let me just see if I can get this right here. Let's see. I think it's somewhere. I think I responded to something. Where is it? Where's my thing here? It's on Threads. Let's see. Where is the Threads? There we are. There's my responses. Creature Commandos. There it is. I found it. Creature Commandos, and let's see. Um, Here's the really messed up part. Creature Commandos, the DC U series, which was supposed to be sold out in the future, has, let me see. This movie, this thing right here, will be premiered in December of 2024. This year. This year. Creature Commandos is going to debut this year. This show is going to be in this year. Will be here. Will actually be on the thing. Perfect. Boom. It's going to be in the live through your video scope or through Max or whatever. It's going to be right there live. And where is Blade? Well, where's Blade? Well, they just lost. Blade lost their director, their second director, and it's still in production. Shambolic. I keep saying it because it's true. Because this is the most simplest movie out there. It's probably going to cost less money to get this thing done than most of the Marvel stuff they put out there. I mean, we seem to forget the last real Marvel big movie was the Marvels, and that thing completely flopped. And how much money they lost because of that. I mean, This is supposed to be a really simple. This could have been like again, 50 mil again, right here. It was a $45 million budget, and it made over 100. The original one made 131 million. And the second one, the sequel, 55 million budget, 155 million. Hell, Blade Trinity, 62 million, made 132 million. I mean, these were all made. The Blade movies, the Blade movies were made under $100 million. First one made for you could have made. I honestly think if they were good and actually knew what they were doing, this movie should have been already completed in the can years ago. In fact, this could have been right after their whole, you know, Eternals and all this. I mean, I think the problem is they're trying to fit in all this other stuff. They try to fit in the Eternals and that stuff here. Um, the Black Knight. They're gonna try to fit in like all the vampire stuff, which is the vampire stuff happening in the comics right now with Miles Morales as a vampire, and I think Sorcerer Supreme is a vampire. All that stuff and everything trying to get there. They're trying. That's in the comics. They're trying to do something like that probably in the movie. Uh, I honestly wish that they could have. I wish they could have just started this as a TV series or just did that. I mean, they still own the rights. I mean, you know, Blade honestly should have been. It's an easy thing. It wouldn't have cost that much money. Would have been in and out. Okay, there you go. We've been done. Kills vampires and done. Then you had him like learn lessons from like women or something. I'm like, they're trying to overcomplicate things that don't really connect with the character. I'm not against something like that of a huger type of story if you can use it to really fit with the character or do something. But it seems like the problem with the people, and I keep going back to Kevin Feige. I think Kevin Feige is just overcooked. I think that's the problem. And I don't think he knows how to make a simple film anymore. And this is my fear of all the whole MCU is that they can't do a simple plot. They can't do something simple. They can't. I mean, again, look at this. This is supposed to be a very simple film. This is a very simple movie. All you have to do is a simple film. This is going to be. It's supposed to be a simple movie, and oh gosh, oh Lord, just on this. Welcome to OVO. Oh my gosh, they actually have an OVO. Oh gosh, don't tell me this is not their Twitter thing. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me. October's very OVO actually has a kids line. Oh Lord, Jesus. Mm. I should stop looking at Twitter. I shouldn't watch this Twitter stuff. It's just. Hmm. But like I said, this right here is a shambolic thing, and I'll keep repeating myself because there's nothing else really to. Um, what else can you say about a franchise that Marvel has just really become overbloated? And I wish that that wasn't the case, but I do want this movie to be good, but I don't think they know what to do with a simple film. When's the last time Marvel had like a good simple movie that is actually self-contained that you don't need to watch anything? When's the last film you can sit there and say a Marvel film without need to watch multiple stuff, including TV shows or anything else that has to connect to everything? When's the last time we had that? When's the last time that actually felt so self-contained? To me, the last time you had that was probably the Ant-Man movies before they went into the whole Kang stuff. It felt honestly, I felt they were so self-contained. I don't think Kevin Feige or anyone at Marvel can do a self-contained movie anymore. They ever had everything has to be self-connected. And with these directors dropping by the wayside, this is what's going to be in this case over and over and over. So yeah. And I want to hear what your comments about this is. I want to hear what your comments um about this. I want to hear what you have to say about this. You know, live chat, or you can use it as in the comment section when I split this off to the other videos and everything else. You know, because I want to hear what your thoughts about this and why is this happening, and what do you think? What do you think that Marvel? You know, do you think that Marvel can actually make a self-contained film? Can Marvel even do that anymore? Because if Marvel can't make a self-contained film um, at this late date, if they can't make a self-contained movie, what else? What hope do you have, ladies and gentlemen? What hope do you have for the next couple of Marvel movies and such? I mean, you know what? Scratch that. The only films you really felt that were self-contained was the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Yeah, all the Guardians, you can watch the Guardians of the Galaxy films and have no connection to anything, and it's just so much fun. It's such easier to get into. And I'm hopeful that that can be brought into the DC model as well. And now with all this big stuff, and when the X-Men come in, you got the X-Men going to come in, then you got the Fantastic Four, and they're all going to try to mesh, and it's not going to work well. I don't think it's going to work well, and it's going to make everyone feel like, oh gosh, it's going to be just a huge, big pile, just a convoluted mess, a convoluted, long mess, and uh, I don't see how Marvel can get themselves out of it. They need to start doing, and I say this again, Marvel needs to basically start doing the single, something that's not connective. And I think when I mean and you notice, by the way, um Deadpool and Wolverine, you know, it seems like it's not probably the least connected one to the MCU at all. But that's just my thing. Anyway, we're gonna take a small little break here. And when we return, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about a Nintendo Direct. Oh man, the Nintendo Direct, the rumors and all that stuff. What are we gonna see? Are we gonna see the Switch 2? Are we doing all this type of stuff? Well, yeah, you know, that's what is going to happen. Anyway, we'll be right back. You know, right back right after this little break here, using listening live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back. Oh, by the way, click like if you like this thing, subscribe, all this stuff here, because you have not only this lovable live stream here, you also get video games as well. So, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're right back right after this. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it is great to be here, as always, to make sure the people here, the love, the life, all that good stuff. Anyway, let's get into the Nintendo Direct now, shall we? Let's talk about it. So, well, supposedly right here, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct coming. Will happily be the end of June. Some say it's going to be next week or this week, whatever. And a lot of people are saying that the Xbox, there's huge showcases and everything else. Like, there's going to be one supposedly going to big one. Like, there was going to be one. Um, suppose it's going to be around the next week, supposedly. Let's see. Uh, Probably going to happen next week, supposedly. The earliest possible date, saying Nintendo is going to supposedly, the people are saying it looks like it might happen like this week or, next week. It could happen a week later, all that good stuff here. But yeah, since there's no E3, there's going to be, the Xbox Showcase, Ubisoft Showcase, Summer Game Fest, which is a complete mid. Xbox showed pretty good, but it's kind of really, it shows hollow because of, well, them basically firing and destroying 4 studios and such, you know, for no reason. It's including Tango Gameworks saying, "Hey, they didn't make any money." Well, why did you stealth drop the whole this huge important title, Hi-Fi Rush on Game Pass? How did you make any money? Of course, you're not going to make any money. It's the same problem with this whole streaming stuff, and you expect to make billions of dollars. Netflix don't make that much money on that stuff. It's just you know, yeah, and the streaming and such. I don't know how they make their billions of dollars, but it's not that. It's not that. So you should and honestly, it sucks because they were going to release it to like other stuff, but then it's just now canceled and the sequel is basically gone away, and it sucks. I hate it. And now, you know, looking at the stuff for the Nintendo, what's going to be here. Me personally, from the next Nintendo Direct, I expect there's some stuff I see to be something interesting, something good. I expect it to be some. I think Metro Prime 4 will be released later this. I think they'll probably have an announcement on it, or they're gonna delay it to next year. Because I mean, hey, they already have Metroid Dread, so I think that's that calmed down the Metroid fanboys, and it didn't hurt because it was a fun game too. Um, let's see what else. I think they're gonna do. They're not gonna do anything Legend of Zelda-ish. I think they might show a little like "Thank y'all so much" and this, that, yeah. Show them like an amiibo and talk about the masterworks and such. That's probably what's gonna happen. Um, I think they're gonna do some more. I think they're going to say, "Hey, remember Wind Waker? Remember Twilight Princess? We're gonna put them on the Switch." And that's what's going to be the big story there too. I think that's what's going to happen. And they're going to put those on the Switch. Probably some new Joy Cons as well. Probably some new 2D games. Or maybe they'll announce saying that hey, we got the 3DS or something. They're going to somehow do that, and maybe finally announce Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Switch, or maybe they could say, you know what, Xenoblade Chronicles X is going to be on the Switch too. Maybe that will be it, or Xenoblade Chronicles 4, which is going to be a very interesting thing. You know, hmm. But yeah, that's what it is. Hmm. That's why I feel like there's going to be some more stuff here. But also, I wouldn't be surprised. There might be a Dragon Ball game there. Maybe something to say like, cause hey, I think Fighter Z was still very popular. People like to play that, and I still saw people playing that. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. Um, I think there's going to be a little bit of that stuff as well. I think that's what's going to be. I mean, I wonder what else you're going to have there. I think there's going to be a lot of yeah, some. I don't think you're going to see Switch 2. They said they're not going to do it. Maybe they'll probably tease it, maybe they call it a name or something, but I don't see. I would not be surprised that maybe they'll announce it. I think they might have another direct, like at January or maybe December or January, to actually probably talk about the Switch 2, and then they will probably be like, here it is. I don't know if they're gonna have a price point or something, um, because I think I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe it won't. I don't think it's going to be as powerful as the Steam Deck, um, because I mean they probably are going to make it somewhat like PS4 or PS5 because the graphics are not the important stuff here for Nintendo. They always are when they go on their separate path, which I love they're doing. They go on their weird, odd path, and I think that's one of the best parts of them is they're going on this weird path and such. And I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to go on this weird path, and hopefully, you know, they will still be a success. And I think that's what they're going to be. I think that's what is looking forward to Nintendo being that successful company because right now they're riding high, and the Switch is still one of the most. I do worry a bit because every time they come up with another console, they suffer a back end that they suffer a backlash and such. They don't rebound. Like they have a really successful console and then it goes backwards and then it goes back and forth and back and forth. I mean, you know, my hope is that this Switch will be just as good. Hopefully it will be just as good as the Switch, and hopefully it won't be as the Wii U, which my Wii U controller is a bit busted. I knew eventually what happened. I gotta see if I got a lot of stuff I gotta repair. I got Xbox to repair, I got a PS2 to repair, and I got a Wii U controller to repair. That's gonna be a fun thing to do over the summer. Well, anyway, hopefully it'll all work out. No worries. But yeah, back to Nintendo. I think the Nintendo Directs are gonna have probably some more indie games. I think they're gonna have some more like stuff like that to finally end life on the system. Maybe a last hurrah. Maybe Metro Prime 4. Maybe another heck, maybe a Star Fox game. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be something? Lord. I don't know, man. I don't know. Mm. But yeah, yeah, I think it is. That's just me. Um, that's why I feel like that's going to be it. Anyway, I'm gonna take a I'm gonna sit back and relax a bit, and sit back and relax, and hopefully Metroid Prime 4 will finally happen. Will finally, and I'll say again, finally happen. Or if not, well, like I said, it looks like it will probably be a I think will be on the Switch too. Actually, that'd be a pretty good launch title. Actually, Metro Prime 4. State something in the comment section below. Anyway, I'm gonna take a small little break here, and we'll finish up with some pro wrestling news with Ricochet. Oh, Ricochet leaving. Oh, Ricochet's leaving. He is leaving on the train. Oh no, after that Braun Breaker slam, I think who knows where he might end up. I'll be talking about that in about a couple of seconds after you listen to some lovely music. OC remix. How about something like that? How about some something from the Ninja Turtles, baby. Oh gosh, man, that was a from the Ninja Turtles Cell Shocked. How about that? You listen to some Ninja Turtles Cell Shocked from OC Remix. Go download this stuff. It's pretty good. We're gonna put listen to something. How about we have Fight Something? We're right here live on the Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this. Only 1 minute sitting and I'll be the last break. The red gas race go. Only too many to the California road. Use the both sides. So things get easy. It's much more to you. Way good to go. The best of this shit slow. To get ready for the hit. I'm a man to do all you know. I'm gonna take you to school. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is me, Dixie T. How you doing? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. Let us now talk about old Ricochet. Ricochet, Ricochet, Ricochet. You say his name more times than he actually. You say his name more than once. Braun Breaker will come and spear him again. So, chat or whatever. Say his name multiple times, and Braun Breaker will kill him again. But anyway, Ricochet. Recently, according to many outlets, has not want to resign with WWE, which is interesting. And they've written him off, which is I would say good and bravo. I don't know why they didn't do it with their other main stars. Like again, Drew McIntyre before he was re-signed. You had Seth Rollins, the Becky Lynch, who's still not re-signed, by the way, and Chad Gable, who is on like a paying on appearance deal. And now we have Ricochet. Basically, his contract ends like in July, I believe, July, um, and he could just move on and everything else. Me, I honestly say this: what are you doing, WWE? I hate the fact that WWE is just doing this long, they just couldn't sign it. Why aren't they signing their main star? Why are they waiting for this so long? Why are we waiting? Why is WWE doing, you know, all this other stuff? So, hmm, you know, it's so it's so it's messed up because it feels like it's just mismanagement. I mean, it's just like rumor has it they want to sign with TKO and not WWE, which I'm like, they're the same company. I don't know. It seems very shambolic, and I'd like get their. I'm like, is WWE that like? Come on now. It just really, um, you know, it's really is the messed up part of you know the messed up part of what WWE is doing and not signing their talent and such, or misusing their talent, or just don't know where to go. I mean, poor Andrade, who is now what? Winning the Speed Championship on a basically a bot winning platform. Yay! Good lord, I really just said. Oh, what's up, G Nation? What's up, man? So it's basically the same as what the UFC does with their fighters. They wait till the fight concept. I think that's stupid. UFC could get away with it because there was legitimately no one there around. There was nobody there. No one. WE, well, you have multiple stuff now. I'm not talking about TNA, which is basically a hollowed out program. They're doing it just to fill up content. They're basically in the Ring of Honor phase of their stuff until the WE buys them out. That's what it is. WE. So when WE finally buys them out, that's right. WE is going to have a feeder system for a feeder system for a feeder system. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fun. What? See. Oh, there's New Japan, Noah, all that type of stuff. Not just AEW. And I think that's one of the main problems was that I think there's too much stuff here. I really wish that Ricochet would do the same thing what Maximum Models were doing, just go around the world, just you don't need to be incumbent right now. Just go out and actually sign, like do like other like indie stuff for a while, to reheat himself. But stuff like maybe a Matt Riddle, something like that. I think he would be if TNA wasn't all then basically selling. I would like, gosh, I said this before, and I know this is probably going to get people a little bit angry as such. But I think if TNA wasn't on that bad path, I think if Scott Demore would have bought them, I think if they would have gotten, I truly think that TNA would have been perfect for Mercedes, Punk, and let's see. I would say Osprey, but he was already gone. I think they would have gotten maybe re-signed Naomi. Would have probably gotten some of these other mates and Okada. They would have probably been like, hey, the third company TNA risen above. It would have been really good. Instead, they all went to AEW and they are actually thriving there. I didn't think Okada was going to be that very good, but I was wrong. But I felt like TNA, if Scott, would have bought him, Scott Demore would have bought them. I think Ricochet would have probably been in TNA right now, and I think it would have been a really good hire for him. It probably would have been like less stressful, less what you know, I mean, the problem with WWE's their schedules and everything else is that sure they're hot now, but what happens when you're not hot? When you're not entirely because again, hotness can come and go. And once it is, I feel like it was, remember, it's still recent that I remembered you had like stuff was tarp all the way tarp. And, they're doing all this like crazy stuff in the house shows or whatever. Uh, but, everything could do shift and everything else. But what I mean to say is that WWE, you know, they just overwork their guys. They overwork them, and I wish they could just sit back and just say maybe we should have less stuff. Less would be great for them, and then build like, hey, you don't need to do like 10 million house shows or whatever, like in the 80s. But yeah, just like make them feel important, make them feel like, hey, hey, we're having U.S. champion Ricochet or U.S. champion, I don't know, instead of Logan Paul, maybe Solo Sokoa or whatever, and build them up there. That's what I think they should be doing, is to build up their stars instead of just focusing on the outsiders, the outside people and everything else. Build them up, stuff up, because Logan Paul might be there for a while, but he ain't gonna be there forever. You understand what I'm saying? And but yeah, I think when you have that type of issues there's nowhere to really fit all these people in the cards. You get like Carlito just farting around at this point. I don't know why Carlito's there. It's nice that he has a job, but you're like, eh, you know, what is Lashley doing other than wasting away? What is he doing? The Street Profits are just spinning their wheels. Um, God, Chase you. What's their point? They've been in NXT and they haven't done anything. At this point, they should just be gone. There's a lot of talent in WWE that should just leave. Same as AEW. I mean, there's some people I don't think should stay. In AEW, I think they're just like bloated, and there's like some people who need to get, shit off and get off the pot. I mean, yeah, I think Reba Rebel might be leaving. She was in NXT. I think there's going to be. I think Britt Baker's going to come back. She's going to find. I think Saraya. I think she should leave. I mean the whole Outcast thing's leave. I'm done with that. So I'm done with that. So you could just and some guys there too. I think Max Caster and Billy Gunn. I want Anthony Bowen to be in that. I want Anthony Bowen to be champion. I think he has. He could just really start being in that world champion picture. You know. Um, there's other people right now in AEW that should be. There's some stuff right there that should be. You know, they have to cut the fat a bit. You know what I'm saying? They need to start trimming and then being more focused, being more right there. And I think that's the thing of AEW. They need to do that stuff as well. WE needs to do that as well. Hell, honestly, WE should have been doing that years ago. And then when they did, people were hating them. But I'm like, they had to because the roster got too big and bloated. Same day, the WE and AEW, like that, the roster's a little too fat. And it needs to be there's some people on that roster that should not be there. But yeah, I think that Hunter and Tony don't want to lose faith. I don't think they don't want to be the guys who basically like, oh, do I want to push this guy in? And they start really looking good, like the Maxwell models. And like, oh, see, y'all fumbled the bag, and then that happens. It happens. Move on. And I think that's why, some of these things should happen and some of these shouldn't. And I think that's one of the main issues with Ricochet, who, quite honestly, if you want to just stay, instead of this Willie won't he do this stuff, release them. Just say, screw it. If you want the 90 days, time, take it, whatever, or not take 9 days, just go. Start cutting. Ricochet, he should be leaving. Ricky Starks, I think he should have gone. Gosh, man, if they had trades like in pro wrestling had trades like in sports, this stuff will not be an issue. Well, there will still be issues, but you could just trade them back and forth. You wouldn't have to worry. They wouldn't have to worry about this. And that's one of the main issues with this stuff is that this mismanagement, overbloated rosters with both companies, and I just worry. I worry about that stuff, and I hope they know what they're doing. I hope they do. I mean, heck, you had WE finally shutting down those post interview, those press conferences, which I think that was pretty a bad idea in the first place. But now no one can ask tough questions, so that's a thing because the old Paul Levesque, old Papa Hunter can't even do good PR. Sweet Lord, gosh, he's so cringe. But yeah, he's done. I think. But yeah, I think if he can't do this, and honestly, they better have Chad signed. By the way, it's gonna be. I'm gonna say this right now. If I see Chad Gable in New Japan at the G1 or he in AEW in the next couple weeks fighting the Owen Hart Classic, Hunter should be fired. If I see Ricochet and Chad Gable on AEW in the next couple weeks, I want I want Hunter to be gone. I want Paul Levesque gone. I don't care. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, I don't care. Those are your two main talents and such. Okay, Ricochet, you write him off fine. But Chad Gable has been doing this Alpha Academy. You've been talking to, the Creed brothers. At this point, if I see Chad Gable leave, I want to know what the Gable, the Creed brothers, how long they're gonna be in that company, and they could and if they walk, if I see him like by like September or October, I see the Creed brothers and Chad Gable on AEW, like this Hunter, yeah, he's done. I want him gone. I don't care anyone hate me or whatever. But that's my whole thing. They better fix this problem because again, I see that coming. And by the way, Ricochet is probably going to AEW. All right, this is just gonna be a long swerve and seeing he's gonna be in TNA. But hey, it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be a fun time. It will be fun. Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. But you never know. Anyway, that's it for me. Dukect. Thank you so much for watching here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for pulling up a chair and listening to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody that the Dukect Lounge will be back here live Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I will be finishing up, just running around in Tears of the Kingdom, up and down, all around, having fun, doing the best I can to make sure that the game and everything, because I'm having such a fun time. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.